I think it's working.
Okay, this is great. This is way better than what was happening last time.
Were you getting cut off last time?
Well, yeah, it was really weird. I've never had so many technical issues on a stream before. Every 5 minutes it would die. Yeah, it was weird. Oh, jeez. All right, so let's see who else we can invite.
Your latency is still pretty bad though, because when you're talking to me, you're still cutting out quite a bit.
No shit, I'm on. Hold on a second.
It's a little better now.
Yeah, now we're gonna go on the Wi-Fi, I guess. Oh, Christ, I need some water. Oh, no. There we go. So I'm gonna see who else I can invite to this. Probably throw the link up on YouTube. I mean, on Twitter for anyone to watch, because there's always a peanut gallery, I suppose.
Who is the name?
The name.
Name. No, what the fuck?
What up?
My nigga.
Yo.
Let's see here. Unfortunately, Owen's asleep, so we can't get him in here. So Mr. Helios. Who else? Well, I suppose we should get right to the heart of the matter. What do you guys think of all these fucked up dreams?
Mm. Mm. Let's see here. I don't know if my audio is coming through or not.
It's kind of distorted.
Oh, is it?
Levy just
Let me see if I can fix that.
Oh, there he is.
Let's
Levy, everything good, man? Shit, this.
Rex, you're not running anything else that would be eating up your bandwidth, are you?
Oh no, man! I'm on SaskTel fiber, so as far as I know, I'm not eating anything else up or streaming anything. So that's really weird.
Maybe that will be better.
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay. You may hear a train in the background, but it's very far away.
Oh yeah, I got that too. Don't worry. Did he get back to me? Where the hell are we? All right, so fucked up dreams. Anybody else having these?
Mine have been pretty normal, which is more the exception than the rule. So,
Yeah, I mean, I have terrible dream recall in general, so I can't really say if anything's been really abnormal, but some of the stuff I've been getting is a little worrying, I guess.
how so?
There seems to be like a recurring. People seem to be like, there's like a recurring element of like plagues and shit.
Of plagues?
Yeah, plagues.
Hmm.
The scan type stuff, I guess.
Interesting. How many people have independently reported that sort of thing?
4 or 5.
Yeah, that could be a trend.
Yeah. I mean, then there's also the whole social contagion thing and
Sure,
what's
you
being
say
picked up
one person
passively.
primes them like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally, I got that too.
But I don't know. It's
I mean, it would be odd for them to all kind of center around the same dark theme, though. Usually people don't do that.
yeah, it's weird. Like as far back as December, I started thinking that like, maybe there was some weird social contagion shit going on with Twitter and like people's mental health being affected. But yeah.
Yeah. I think the Twitter contagion is pretty limited,
Hello.
sensitive factor. So it would have to be something else, like underswell is
Oh,
piercing.
there's yes.
Oh, am I on?
Hello.
Oh, that's why you have a fucking effect on your voice now. That's why it sounds weird as fuck.
Me? I have no effect.
Oh, for real? Oh, okay.
Perhaps my
What?
voice just is weird coming to this particular microphone. I don't know.
That looks like your ass is covered anyway then.
Right on.
Yeah, I busted my ass to get some voice changers set up on my machine, and it apparently isn't working at all. So, like, fuck it.
What are you trying to use?
It was Morphox, I think, by Screaming Bee.
Sometimes there's things in like the Realtek drivers that will.
Yeah, it was weird.
I mean, I don't think you have much to worry about, but
No, I don't either.
I mean, if somebody's gonna dox me from my voice alone, I'm fucked already.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, like the scale of this thing is pretty interesting. Like a lot of people I wouldn't have thought would be feeling this way.
What are we talking about?
The weirdo dreams with the ominous theme.
Like more than weirdo dreams, but in general, just like really bad vibes.
Yeah.
The scale of it's actually like, geez,
There is something unsettling, something wicked this way comes kind of a feel. But I don't.
Yeah, that is exactly what it feels like. Like I'm not really sure where it's coming from though.
The gays.
Yeah.
No, it's actually specifically the furries, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that would totally explain it. I'm just gonna go with that explanation.
Okay.
It's just to preserve my own sanity.
Oh, you're still holding on to that?
Oh yeah, by a thread. But geez.
Threads could be a fucking nanotube by now.
Oh god, it's like single atom.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh God,
You lose yourself and then you find yourself. That's how I go about it.
Yeah, that's I guess more or less how it works, but
Just think of Clown World like an acid trip.
Yeah. Just kind of let all the noise
yeah,
out. And you sort of
just
cohere.
roll with it.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you do?
Look at the sidewalk and count the cracks. Try very hard to not acknowledge the screaming void or anything like that.
I mean, we can acknowledge it, but I don't think that like trying to reason it is gonna do anybody any good.
Probably not.
Nope, it can't be reasoned with.
I think Crypt made that point on one of the few occasions when I let him out from the safe. So.
Duck, sidestep, or laugh at it. And
Yeah.
or just heave yourself into it with reckless abandon.
No, I mean that works too. I guess.
I don't know if what comes out on the other side is.
Well, it helps to take all your clothes off first,
That's at least plausible deniability.
Well, it's like the self-help stuff. Like, the only thing you can really have is like a positive mental attitude about it, because when you don't, you start behaving strangely, and then like it just makes things worse because nobody people don't get that. And so when you start involving other people in what they perceive as like delusions or something else, then you're just making it more difficult for yourself, really.
Oh yeah, very much so.
I mean, we're already on a weird ass little wavelength, so.
Well, you're already a weirdo anyways, right? So like, you don't need to make it worse.
Well, I think humor really helps, because like the second you lose your ability to laugh at shit is like that's when shit gets real.
Yeah,
as long as you can laugh at this stuff, like, there you go.
I think Sam Hyde is a great example of that for sure.
I mean, there is a breaking point, though. It only buffers so much.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but it helps.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I have survived all these years. Certainly.
Yeah. But I mean, it's sure interesting that all this shit goes down, and at the same time, we have this whole UFO thing going on.
You're going to have to tell me more about the UFO thing.
Yeah, I'm not in on that loop.
Yeah. Well, there was the whole,
start small. I got to, build up a frame of understanding here.
Quick rundown.
Yeah.
Okay. There was that big New York Times story about the Pentagon UFO program in, was it November? And
was it that video they released of them tracking that object in the sky? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, they've released 3, and none of them really hold up. But that's a long story in itself. But and then after that, you suddenly had 2 very high profile, for the subject, cases where commercial aviation ran into something weird. Like there was that one in Oregon where they actually scrambled F-15s.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, they didn't catch shit, and afterwards they were holding snap drills and stuff, and they hadn't done that since the Cold War.
Right.
1950 or some shit. And then there was that thing in Arizona where those 2 jetliners saw something, but I don't know, man.
I think Arizona is a hive for that kind of activity, especially in Sedona Valley and stuff like that.
God. I've heard Sedona's all kinds of crazy.
I halfway want to move to Sedona just to experience it, but I feel like I'd burn to death.
Yeah, another spot would be southwestern Colorado, San Luis.
It's all that same area, that same geographical.
Yeah, that weird
shit. The steppes.
American Southwest, deserts, mesas, cowboys, and shit. I don't know.
It's something about it. The very American, seeing the UFOs out fucking tripping balls on peyote.
Well, part of it's like
the whole myth of the frontier and like the cowboy archetypes and yeah.
Part of that though is that in Arizona you have like some of those special operations squadrons there with the Air Force, and then in Colorado you have the Space Command there with all those.
Didn't they test fucking nukes out in Arizona anyway?
No, that was Nevada. Colorado and New Mexico, though.
Okay, it's all so close. Like, it's all localized in that area of the Southwest.
Yeah, like all this weird shit goes down there, and like nobody really thinks about it.
I think about it.
Oh yeah. Well,
but why there? Why that locale in particular?
Wild.
I mean, I think it must have something to do with the desert aspect of it in the way that it's all rock and stone, and not a whole lot of people live out there.
Yeah, there's plenty of desert locations, but nowhere near that kind of traffic.
I mean, it's also, I feel like it's really easy to say, oh yeah, that dude, he went out in the desert and he died from dehydration, and we never saw him again.
True, it's easy to get lost out there.
It is.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to move to Arizona, actually, because I'm afraid I would die.
Is there something else that draws them to that particular region? I mean, there's plenty of deserts around, but I don't hear anything about that kind of traffic.
I mean, the pyramids of Giza are in the desert.
Yeah, but no one says anything about UFOs there, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Not
Okay.
recently. I mean, there were a couple of weird things in Egypt, but like nothing on the scale you get in the States.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
But I mean, here's the thing. But even with all this, like, I mean, let's face it. Like, we're looking at like some hardcore psychic tension we haven't seen since like the Cold War going on. Shouldn't things be a lot weirder? Because like back in the day, it wasn't just one or two UFOs. Like you had big sighting flaps all over the place. You had like sort of hysteria setting in.
They should, but people are desensitized to that now. So it's not going to reach the same, alarm.
Yeah. But like, could that sort of thing happen in like a different form? Like, I mean,
it's got to happen in some form.
Well, in some form.
It comes out somewhere.
Oh, what role does Elon Musk have to play in all this? I feel like he's a diversion, and like when people see something up in the sky, they can like, oh, that's Falcon Heavy. That's not. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh well, he's actually a cutout for the feds. Like Howard Hughes. He's literally a Howard Hughes. Like
more plausible deniability.
Because the feds basically own his entire rocket program.
Well, Rex, how it was explained to me, right? And like, this isn't the first time this has happened in history, but it's like you find a guy and then you give him like federal grants, and basically you sort of like trickle out like technology that was previously classified, and you sort of commercialize it and you let it out into the public slowly.
Well,
I guess it's easier to believe that an independent business can make rockets of that sophisticated level that they can land their boosters back on Earth. Just some random dude came up with that. Yeah.
Fuck.
Hey, by the way, could I get a link for this stream that I can plug on my Twitter?
Yeah, somebody set that up.
Yeah, DM me.
Let's see. I don't know if it was a DARPA program or somebody else, but they were pulling that off with like Delta Clipper, DCX back in like 1993. Like all this stuff ultimately comes out of the military. Ultimately.
Well, you think about it, right? Like, you think they don't have like crazy ass shit, like just like sitting down in the annals of skunk works like forever for like decades now.
Oh, dude, they actually dig holes at Area 51 and they just bury the whole airframe. There's like 15 that people have figured out from various like patches and things that have flown, but we've never actually seen. So
I mean, that makes sense if they would do that because I don't think that they themselves have the technical expertise of the time to really dig through that and develop it as a product. So,
No, I think there's a lot of stuff that popped up within the last decade about like breakaway civilizations and stuff. One of
yeah.
the elements of this, interestingly, seems to be like a return to like Nordic aliens for some reason.
I saw some fucking YouTube spot, like the advertisements about that on YouTube, like years ago, where they were talking about Nordic aliens. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because like you'd think that'd be like a dead meme or some shit, but I guess not. But here's the thing: if they had anything up there, people would be seeing it. Like there's a whole like amateur satellite watching community, and hell, they find black satellites. Like Misty, for example, that stealth spy bird that was tracked down eventually.
Well, what if they have like something where they can, I don't know, I mean, there are ways to like conceal yourself visibly unless you have some kind of radar to define
Balloons, mirrors, those were the two I know that have been used, but I don't know. I just think that's just disinformation.
Oh, what?
I mean, the whole narrative that there's like a space navy and
Oh yeah, no,
yeah, Trump's space corps.
I mean, that would be fucking sweet if he pulled that.
It would be. I mean, that is if space even exists at all.
I think there was a time we could have pulled that off, but I don't think we can in our present condition. The research infrastructure is not there.
Pretty sure that everybody would be pretty pissed too that he was more worried about space than a southern border wall.
Yeah.
Well, you notice this actually came up as like a Hillary campaign plank, right?
Which one?
UFOs. I shit you not.
Hillary's campaign was an abysmal mess. I'm not surprised.
But you know, Rex, but John Podesta, you know, right? He's really interested in UFOs and like disclosure.
More than really interested, man. He's pretty diehard.
He's trying to get back to his home world, guys.
Back to his home world where they abduct kids and probe them.
Yeah, they got a wormhole.
It's totally
in the basement
accepted in their society.
I don't know, but this whole thing is just. All I can say is 2018's been like a really surreal year. Like, for like 2 months, I managed to cut out most of like the media and shit, and I come back to it. I actually came back to Twitter just to share some UFO stuff, and what do I find? Oh, there's a cuck box, and we're falling through it, and then it just gets crazier. Like, Jesus, like everybody's cucking each other, and
Twitter is the cuck box.
Yeah, who the hell is having sex over Twitter? Like, seriously, like that's a thing now.
Whenever humans congregate, it's just what happens.
Man.
You're telling me you don't go into the DMs of every girl that has them open and ask for milkies? I mean, dude.
No. I only did that for like Eve Pizer or whatever her name is.
What was that? What was that girl? Oh shit. Louise Mensch. You go ahead and ask her for milkies.
Jeez.
I guess it's a good thing Ben Shapiro's sister does not have a Twitter account.
Oh, God.
It's okay. All we need is Ebernig.
Oh. Like, man, I don't even know how to process that shit. Like, I fervently hope that This is all some misunderstanding, and what we all fear is going to happen is not going to happen.
No, it looks like what it is.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
what do you fear is gonna happen though?
Village wife? I don't fucking know, man. Jesus.
And look what she's married to. It just makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, look what happened with, like, Faith Goldie.
Oh my god, dude. That's tanning bed though. And maybe some microchimerism.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. That honestly, the whole thing raises a lot of questions. Like, I just can't get over how friggin' weird this year is. Like Heimbach wasn't just screwing his mother-in-law or whatever, who was also screwing all the other TWP members.
But
this
could we ask
really,
for a better front
like a
person of the alt-right?
Like, this is a really, like, every angle you look at this, it just gets stranger. But, like, he was apparently also I don't know, seducing e-women or some shit, because I believe that came up on Paul or something.
I don't know, but I think that he's a good face for white nationalism.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because it basically paints it out as what it really is. Some fucking fat loser.
True.
Yeah, but
and those are the people that are like, oh no, save the white race is more important than anything else at all.
But being a trailer park Führer is enough status to I don't know. It's like there's some weird fucking reality distortion field shit going on here, and I don't.
Well, he probably has one. It could be kind of like one of those. Has that creepy Charles Manson charisma.
It's called like fucking putting MDMA in everybody's water in the trailer park, going around and dripping it.
It's like Jim Jones light, basically. I mean,
there's fucking ecstasy in the well.
Yeah. How the fuck did he afford? Like, apparently, I heard that the guy who got cucked somehow was a Bitcoin millionaire or some shit, and everybody.
He was a whale.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. Although, to be honest, I didn't really look at that story as much as I maybe should have.
Well, how the hell did he afford a trailer park? Where did they get a fucking warehouse from? Like what? Like, man, we haven't even got to the Satanists yet. Like, what? Like, Jesus. And like, this. What
did the Satanists do this time?
Well, I mean, the whole Atomwaffen thing, and then there was... and Heimbach was hanging around with those types.
Those are interconnected for sure.
Oh, fuck yes.
But Atomwaffen is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
I don't know, man. Like, why would... okay,
I kind of like the aesthetics, but
Essays
it's
of
so retarded.
Said the same thing as James Mason's Siege, basically. Except it's a lot more, like, presentable.
Atomwaffen is the Reed Siege meme.
I know it is, but I mean, Christ. Oh, he'll be back, I hope.
Do we have that link? I can post it on my Twitter, and maybe somebody would pay attention and come on.
This one in the URL bar, can't you?
Maybe we should just like invite randoms.
No, I'd be selective.
Well, like,
I DM'd like 5 people, but I think the problem is that it's so late that everybody is asleep.
Yeah, like Twitter.
Yeah, when I get the account up tomorrow, I guess we'll try again at a more reasonable hour.
I mean, like the whole weekly Campbot stream that was weird in and of itself.
Yeah. Okay. So that
I watched the whole thing, and your shit just kept on flipping in and out, and I would see it pop up and then go away, and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Dude, it was fucking weird. I've never had that happen to me before. Like I would literally last like 2 minutes. It would lock up.
You could get like 2 words in, and then mid sentence cut off.
There's only one explanation. You're getting DDoSed, bro.
I literally DM Beardson. I said, Rex is getting DDoSed so hard right now.
Well, I don't know, man. When I was linking a website I had on my Twitter profile, like the majority of my visitors were like Homeland Security fusion centers and shit.
The fuck?
Yeah, seriously.
And I mean, I'm sure Campbot wasn't joking when he said he was being profiled by the FBI.
No, I don't think he was at all. And that was just because he was hanging out with Cody Wilson.
Yeah, when you said that, it immediately clicked like, oh, now I see.
And the fact that you were talking about it on the live stream probably
it probably
gained some attention. Because he said, I'm going to wait till Rex gets here to talk about it.
No way they have that ability to selectively DDoS someone like that. That would be like...
What if they're just like sitting out there in a van and just like fucking with your fiber lines?
Pump the EMP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know. That was really
bogging off on
Have you seen that fucking the video?
Gets profiled by the FBI. I waltz across the goddamn border with a suitcase full of like Ebola books and shit. They don't even like grope my nuts or anything. Like, what the fuck?
The last couple of times I've flown, I've gotten fucking random checked each time. So that to me is a little strange.
I haven't gotten shit, man. Like,
you know what? I have to.
You think I would, but like,
yeah, they made me take my laptop out and they swiped it down with the bomb stick.
Yep, that's happened to me too, twice in a row.
So annoying. I'm like, I just want to. I just want to go.
I don't know. That was fucking crazy. But like,
yeah. Then, well, because Campbot said, I don't want to talk about it until Rex is on the stream. And then once you were on the stream, he was having problems too. Before that, he wasn't.
Dude, I tried to get in contact with like Campbot, with Beardson. I never got a response from like anybody. I don't even know if my messages got through at all.
Beardson was gonna bring me on, but then he ended up closing it because everybody got fucked up.
I don't know. That was really wild. Like, but like if Campbot gets investigated just for proximity to Cody, well, fuck. Like me and Levy are, I don't know, within 6 degrees of that.
It's probably not.
If you open up the messages on the side there, you can see the link to the Hangout that you can share with people.
Oh, fuck yes.
Messages icon is in the upper left hand. It's blue and has white lines on it. Open that and there's a chat log. We absolutely should get him on here.
Wait, who are we getting on here?
Nicholas Land. Saint.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Wow.
That'd be fucking sweet.
And he won't do it.
We can all rail out until
anyway.
lemurs come out of the fucking walls.
I would tap
He's probably up right
psychedelics.
Now. It's like 2 p.m.
just for that.
Time.
I don't know. Nick is pretty chill, man. I mean, I don't know if he would just roll into a random like live stream, but
I can see the link to share and have other people join, but what's the YouTube link? I'm so fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
Oh, the YouTube.
Yeah, that's what it's not live on YouTube.
It is live on YouTube.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Give me a second.
So I never used this before, so I don't even know how it works.
I think this.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to do it, and it was confusing enough. So,
yeah. So it's a
no problem.
It's a Google product, so it's not going to be intuitive to use.
Of course.
It's a Google product, so the UI is the most frustrating shit you've ever seen.
I can't even copy the link. It's like popping up and then disappearing.
Oh my god, I love it.
Like the little pop-up link, it disappears when you mouse over it.
Wait, what is it just streaming on the Love Crypt YouTube channel or what?
Yes.
I'll just go there then. That's all I need to do. Cool.
I like how I need to wait like 24 hours before I can stream. It's like, oh, okay,
That's
so
fucking ridiculous.
give me your phone number, and then we'll send you a verification code, and then we'll make you wait 24 hours before you can do anything.
Got to make sure you're kosher, man. Can't be having, live stream hate speech and stuff.
Well, I mean,
but you can go live on Facebook and burn a dog in a cage, and nobody cares.
I know, or you can like tie up a retarded person and like torture him,
cut his scalp. Yeah, no big deal.
I think I just posted the YouTube link there.
I'm posting it too.
Yeah, starts with LDS. So we're sponsored by the Mormon Church.
LDS.
Good cover.
You can flip it around to get LSD.
There you go. Well, that's LSD and LDS go hand in hand.
That's how it started, right?
Yeah.
Guy gets
if you ever look at
LSD.
Mormon theology, it's like it's literally Battlestar Galactica. Literally.
Yeah, don't you get like your own planet and shit?
That's Scientology.
Rex, but Joseph Smith, he wore this
Jupiter amulet.
Yeah, the Jupiter amulet, but he designed it incorrectly, and then he wore it.
Yeah.
And then he got killed by a mob, so that's
why.
Don't fuck around with though. You don't know what you're doing,
All that shit is in Utah, which is pretty close to Arizona, Colorado.
Oh God, there we
go. Southwest area.
Dude, Skinwalker Ranch. Skinwalker fucking Ranch.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. Apparently, like it was been in the background for a long time, and then supposedly around the time of the election, isn't that convenient? It reactivated. I guess apparently it's been sold from Bigelow to some Hollywood actor or some shit, and now it's staffed with like mercenaries and
a Hollywood actor.
Okay, but what about that sex cult where all those people are like mind controlled sex slaves? Who was connected to that? It's escaping me right now.
Oh, that was definitely not me.
T-Bream or something. It was one of the big distillery families or some shit.
I thought it was like a celebrity. That was
plenty, like a lot of
Are you talking about Nixium?
Yeah, from Smallville or something.
Yeah, that one. The one from Smallville.
They were connected to Seagrams.
Yeah. But, like, have you seen the
ginger ale company?
He's like this, he looks like this hipster retard. Like, he's, like, posing half naked with, like, books about how to win at gambling and, like, I don't really understand how the fuck this guru game shit works. Like it just, I mean,
the new thing with like cults is like selling things to sort of like marketing and like self-improvement seminars and like leadership seminars.
Well, that's how they get you in the door, but I think it does some. They do other things after that.
And multi-level marketing and shit. Like, it's really wild.
And then a lot of it's run through extortion, get compromising information.
Right. Well, they do control files on everybody. So, like, eventually what they do is they put you in some, like, sexually compromising situation, and then they film it, and then basically it's extortion and blackmail after that. Like, you can't reveal any of the secrets.
Just follow what Scientology does, and you can basically start your own cult. Guilt people into telling you dark stuff.
That's literally what happens. Like, people will go into cults, and they will come out, and they will start their own cults.
Or study interrogation techniques. It's pretty similar.
It's part of, like...
actually came out of Crowley.
It's like, kind of like...
Hubbard was big into black magic.
I'm sure it was.
It's kind of like
Highland too.
One of the topics that's related to like E. Michael Jones' book Libido Dominandi it's all about that basically. It's like compromising and control files, and like he takes it in a specific direction as far as like liberalism, where it's about almost like blackmailing and being a double standard with conservatism because they're all about sexual liberalism. But then what they do is like you find like the conservative guys who gets a hooker on the weekend, and then you blackmail them for that, even though like there's nothing wrong with getting a hooker except like we're gonna
except he has a wife.
Right. Yeah. So like they're totally okay with this, except it's a double standard, and they use it as like political leverage.
Yeah, I mean that's all politics really, really is when you get deep down to it. Is that shit?
Like I don't know if you guys remember, but there was this whole thing in Canada about was it 2014 or 2015? But John Baird, who's this like big gay conservative dude, was supposedly honeypotted by Mossad or something in a Tel Aviv strip club with a Palestinian teenager or some shit. And yeah, all I remember was that there were apparently multiple journalists looking at this, and that it just went away.
Yeah,
he said, "Oh man, I was just after her oil, no big deal."
Oh yeah, but like that's why you see with like Scientology, like John Travolta. I mean, he's cruising.
By the way, have you seen those recent pictures of John Travolta where he looks like a fucking complete wreck?
Yeah, dude, he cruises.
He's got the Mark Zuckerberg bowl cut, dude.
Oh, dude,
are you serious?
He cruises
yes.
I gotta look that up. At like 3 a.m.
Dude, he looks like he just found out what fucking like weed was. It's so weird.
But
Die Antwoord posted about him on their Twitter, and they said, "Oh, he looks so Zeph," and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?
What is he doing?"
Yes, I know, right?
Dude, can you link that?
Yeah,
I gotta see that shit.
Dude, it's incredible.
But that's why Tom Cruise and John Travolta are like such dedicated Scientologists, because they're gay, and the church knows this. And yeah,
it's like I know another example is, so everybody's heard of like Sybil Edmonds, right? She was like a linguist for the FBI and whatever, and she talks about Jan Schakowsky, who is married to Bob Creamer and is part of that whole like Democratic sort of mafioso thing going on in Chicago. And she's a Jew, but she's like super pro-Palestinian. And the funny thing is the reason she's like that is because she is blackmailed by Mossad because she's a lesbian. And so they have this whole control file on her. And the funny thing is so like Sybil Edmonds was listening in on this stuff, and she was translating a lot of it. And I just find it really funny because this is like standard practice for politics. Like you find what somebody is like sexual deviancy is, and then you blackmail them for it.
Yeah, I mean, they were doing that clear back, in the Roman Senate days.
Can we take a moment to appreciate that her name is Sybil?
Yeah.
Why? I don't get it.
Like Sybil Leek, the British witch or whatever.
And also that book by
right. The multiple personality one, right? That was back in the 70s.
I was talking about Sybil in relation to if his name wouldn't escape me. God damn it. Deep. You know the one that wrote "If Androids Dream of Electric Sheep." That.
Phil Dick, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My brain is fried.
PKD.
PKD. He has this book on
Sybil attacks.
Yes.
I think gets their name from that book.
It's also used in that anime Psychopaths.
That's a good anime,
basically based on PKD's books.
Psychopaths is really good, and I'm not like an anime nerd either.
The first season is. The second one is absolute trash.
The second one is. I like the first season a lot.
Yeah, the first season is good.
What's it called again?
Psychopaths.
They have like like a psych eval system set up throughout the city, and it monitors your mental state constantly and assigns you like a different color. And when people get too mentally deranged, you're allowed to kill them. It's pretty cool.
I could almost see that becoming something real someday.
Yeah. And the main villain is actually probably the best part of the series, as they usually are.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not much of an anime nerd either, but I try to find the stuff that might be worth watching.
Yeah, I would say it is. It's one of the few that I've actually taken the time to watch a second time.
So the only one I really liked was Attack on Titan.
Oh, shut the fuck up and get out.
Why?
That's trash, but we don't need to talk about it.
Hey, Kira.
I made no claim to being an anime connoisseur, so.
I see Nick is posting, so he's awake.
Is that so?
Oh shit!
Nick Land is online.
Log him down.
Dude, we gotta like.
Death Grips has logged on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would you say shake an Adderall bottle or something?
I'm still waiting for my modafinil to get here.
Yeah, here, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, who has DM privileges?
Your boy's got DM privileges.
We're summoning them right now.
Okay, the holy ritual.
You're shaking a bottle of pills.
I'm gonna go shoot some speed up. Rex, are you trying to accelerate your systems?
Yeah, we're accelerating.
Did you see that music video accelerate? I think it was Christina Aguilera, but I'm not really sure which celebrity it was.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet, but I've been meaning.
It literally has slime girls in it, and it's called Accelerate. It's just something.
That.
I've looked.
Holy shit, guys! That's John Travolta. I'm just looking at that D'Angelo tweet. What the fuck?
Right, dude. Holy fuck! He's so lost. I don't know.
When was the last time he had work? Like, I haven't seen him in a movie in forever.
The last time that I saw him in anything was when Netflix did that O.J. Simpson documentary.
Which that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago. It was like 2016. And now he looks like he's fucking from South Africa.
He looks like hammered shit.
Yeah, that's something, man.
I mean,
man, that's a different guy right there.
Just fuck my shit up.
Yeah, that's the new just fuck my shit up haircut right there, dude.
Is that the one where he's in like an orange like shirt and he's balding?
No, he's in like a fucking Hawaiian tour shirt and he's got like a graying bowl cut and like
just
a really
bad
black shadow.
Twitter. Rex,
that's
you
like
saw the DM, right? I sent you the link.
Going on right there, like I don't know.
Yeah, he's got like the Hawaiian shirt, but he's got also like a fucking like mullet, and it's really bad.
Oh yeah,
what is his real hairline?
I don't know. The thing is just like the hairline is so choppy. It's like it's terrifying.
Because I see some things where it seems like he might be actually bald or something.
If that's the wig that he bought, goddamn.
Well, I guess he probably has like hair transplants or something, which might be why it looks so freaky.
Dude, he looks like somebody dug Steve Jobs up and fucking shot him full of horse tranquilizer.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Are we clear?
We're clear.
I don't think I've ever seen a haircut this bad.
It's like that's why I say it's gonna overtake the just fuck my shit up meme. Because that one wasn't even this bad. Are you now just seeing it?
What the fuck is this guy doing with his life?
Dude, I don't know.
More like, what is life doing with him?
Something horrible. I think like we thought we had it bad, but I feel better just looking at John Travolta.
He is not in control.
Being a celebrity is rough, I think, man. Like,
I would rather be bald. I would rather be bald. I would rather have a fucking Anthony Fantano fade than that shit.
So, like, listen, like, I'm not gonna dox myself too much, but like 2 days ago, I was like standing like 2 feet away from like Vin Diesel and like Ludacris, like Instagramming a video, and it's just I don't know how you can like be the fake ass people that they are and like not go crazy.
Well, what if they're sociopaths or some shit?
Yeah, what if they're not people and they're actually lizards wearing human
I mean, they
skin?
are paid a lot of money, so.
Well, it's just like they're not. I don't know, man. They're like, in some ways, like I'm sure their lives are great, but like from being around them, like I get the impression that like it sort of sucks in a way. Like they just
that for a second.
Well, you get a lot of people sucking off of you, like kind of like a vampiric presence that a lot of people in that industry have. So they seem drained or something.
Yeah.
I mean, talking about vampires, did you see that shit where what's his name was saying that he wants to inject himself with the blood of children and hopefully it'll make him live longer?
Oh, Peter Thiel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a thing, but like
yeah, I would do that.
I saw something about it a while ago about blood transfusions.
Stuff.
Well, giving blood is a good anti-aging practice too. So I mean, and no vampires like Peter Thiel like want my blood because I'm like 30 years old, but like giving blood is good for you. Like it increases your insulin sensitivity, and like if you're a male, it lowers like your ferritin levels.
Bro, I've sold so much plasma. I'm actually immortal at this point.
No, you should actually give your blood, not just plasma. Like
I'm joking. I'm joking. I never.
Plasma. They give you.
I never sold my plasma.
No fucking way.
What?
Incel reduces to 88 using anglycicala.
Well, yeah.
Oh, speaking of incels, I found something really fucked up. Okay, so that Brian Gilmartin guy who kickstarted the whole thing in the 80s.
What thing?
Incels.
Incels?
Yeah, he literally wrote the book on like incels.
He coined the term.
Well, I'm not sure if he did. I'd have to reread the book, but he came up with love shyness, and that mutated into incels.
Okay.
At one point, I was arguing with these people online. It's a very long story, but like his book is all like social anxiety. Sure. Then he starts talking about like astrological eugenics and like cloning and nude hot tub therapy, and that nude hot tub therapy stuff. That was something you saw come out of a place called Esalen in California. Levy might know what I'm talking about here, right? There's like a big new age.
Oh my god!
I don't know really how to describe it, but like this, vaguely ominous new age institution in California that had a lot of influence. People don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of fucked up.
Levy, do you live in California?
No, I live in Florida.
Well then I guess you won't be offended when I say that I hope California drops off the face of the earth.
Oh, yeah. By the way, guys, my name is pronounced Levi. I'm not like being passive aggressive.
I assume that's how it was said.
Really
I was just following in Rex's footsteps. Have you never met somebody named Levi before?
I was thinking of the jeans for Christ.
Actually,
don't you say those Levi too?
No, listen. Okay, so I've had to deal with this all my life. People like pronounce it wrong for some reason. I don't know why, because I thought that it was like an easy thing. Because
I've always
like a pair of jeans.
My Levi jeans Levi's.
It's not the thing that holds back water.
Levy, yeah.
No, well, I think in Hebrew it's pronounced Levi, but like in most people it's you say Levi.
Levi. I mean, I've never heard it any other way than that.
Yeah, same. I've always heard it Levi. I just assumed that's how yours was said.
But I wasn't being I wasn't being an ass. Like a lot of people pronounce it wrong for some reason. I don't know why.
Maybe they're fucking with you.
Shit. What was the other thing? Yeah, that
new age
that
shit in California.
Data shit. That OkCupid data shit. That is fucked up. Like,
wait, what?
You know how they're like memory holing that like attractiveness study or whatever.
Oh yeah, how like men rate like 80% of women at least a 5 or above, and then women rate like 10% of men.
Yeah,
that shit.
What I think they're doing, I think this is some kind of half-assed counter radicalization thing, but like it's not going to work.
Of course, it's not going to work. Nobody is becoming angry and incel because they read those OkCupid charts. They're removing the charts so that incels have nowhere to turn when they try to back up their claims with science.
Yeah, no, and I mean,
and
that's just covering their own ass.
And it also removed the impetus that anybody else should possibly consider doing something about it.
I don't know. I think the whole situation's really fucked up because these guys are like, well, the whole thing's a breeding ground for domestic terrorists.
Yeah.
Look, do you see jihadis getting like laid all the time?
Not really.
Exactly.
I think it's like strictly
forbidden.
Unless you're ISIS and you get like a pack of Yazidi slaves.
Well, here's the deal. I don't see them getting laid, but when I do see them, they're raping a girl live on Facebook.
True.
Yeah, it is true.
Or they're in Afghanistan riding the bus holding hands with their best friend.
Oh, you know about Man Love Thursday then?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's really something over there. And just like all I can say is that there's a whole bunch of like FLIR footage of Afghans and like donkeys. They have no fucking shame.
Are you sure those are donkeys? I think they're goats.
Oh, well.
They have no shame, and they also have very poor impulse control, so it's just a powder keg of perversion waiting to happen.
Well, they're all inbred and like doped up on opium 24/7.
Yeah, I was just about to say that inbred statistic. It's first cousins are okay to marry, right? That's I'm thinking of that correctly.
And you consider that they've like done this generation upon generation.
Yep.
It's bad.
High on the line is a hell of a bitch.
I think I saw something before. Like, it's so bad, like in Saudi Arabia, they can't even really recruit fighter pilots because
they're also retarded.
The reaction times are so delayed.
Their hand-eye coordination sucks shit.
Well,
have
you seen the videos of like the Houthis literally walking into the Saudi camp and like shooting them, and like there's no guards posted or anything? Like it's absolutely...
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I think any of the real fighting is stuff that we actually do on the down low for them.
Oh yeah, well that, and apparently a bunch of Sudanese mercenaries.
Yeah.
Like this, it's really fucked up because they're like starving kids to death en masse, and like nobody gives a shit.
No.
Like, Jesus.
Look, the politicians don't care about the children unless they're trying to find a place to put the body after they've fucked it to death.
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
a grizzly totem wave
around. If B-52s had to fly anywhere, you might as well send them to Saudi, man. One big glass parking lot. Fuck it. I'm dead serious. Like, Jesus.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to get Israel while you're at it.
Fuck it. Scratch the whole Middle East.
But if you just kind of leave it alone, then they'll
Actually, you're right, though. If you let them inbreed for a couple more generations, we should be fine.
Yeah. Just stop letting them set up a quarantine around the whole region.
You remember those Hispanic fucking cartoons, right? Of the 56% face. Well, and then it just devolves into like those horrifying. Yeah, that's what the Middle East is going to look like if you let them keep inbreeding. El Goblino.
Las Ogre, something. I can't speak Spanish.
Well, they're practical already. That I mean, look at them.
Have you the Turk roach meme?
Yeah,
it's true.
I have a really funny one on that.
No, but Islam, I don't think that everybody should be freaking out about it. It's not. I mean, it's bad, but I don't think it's as bad as they say.
But I don't think they'll ever organize into like anything formidable. But
no, it's only bad if they get nuclear weapons and then like, kick off some sort of regional exchange that ends up causing global famine or some shit.
Well, no, they could nuke Israel. That would be.
Well, okay.
Would be good.
You have a point there.
But still, like,
but speaking of like Middle East countries and like the incel thing, I've been trying to find like the tipping point where like all the frustrated single men start causing shit. Like, you think there'd be a study on that somewhere, but like I haven't been able to find anything.
Well, did you see that graph where it showed like the creation dates of sites like OkCupid and Tinder and all that shit?
Yes.
And like the celibacy rates?
I lived that.
I think that is a large...
man.
Oh, you did?
Oh, fuck yes. Like, university. Like, first year, boom, Tinder. And then, like, there was no nightlife. Everybody was on their phone. You'd go out to a bar, and, like, people would just be on the phone, like, ordering in or whatever, however you want to phrase it. Like, it was really unreal.
Yeah, they aren't doing anything. They're just kind of, like, in their own world, and they occasionally mash genitals with people.
I think it's a little bit more than occasionally.
Land's response.
The people that are having sex are having it a lot, and then the people that aren't are sitting there wanting to kill their next door neighbors because of how much sex they're having.
Hold on, what was his response?
Land's response: group chat is one of the few vices I've managed to hold the line against.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
So do we play the part of temptresses? Can we lure him into the chat?
Excuse me,
if we could.
But I sat through his NCRAP lectures and I paid for them so he can come here and talk to us.
Hey, I bought Complexity for fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not sure if I should bring that up because I don't know if that's playing too dirty.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think you'll be able to negotiate him into it.
I don't either.
Once he makes up his mind on something, that's kind of like...
Yeah, he seems pretty set against it.
Yeah.
That's his nice way of saying, no, you guys are fucking gay.
Pretty much.
Ow.
Well, you didn't have to say it like that.
He didn't. I'm translating.
No,
I didn't need a translation.
He was being courteous. Softening the blow. There we go. I found the church name.
You should just tell him, if we have to listen to Mo moderate his lectures, he can come in here and talk freely where we don't have to listen to that guy.
I'll just tell him I promise Mo's not here.
So what kind of operation we would need to undertake to take down all of the mass social dating and hookup apps? Is it possible, or is it the end is already here?
You have to, like, I don't know, physically assault the data centers?
Just
that might
nuke
be
their
hard.
servers?
It doesn't work because eventually they'll just remake them, and they're probably cached elsewhere anyway.
Like, you're dealing with, like, I don't know, nuclear hardened facilities or some shit. Like, these are, like, they're not soft targets. Oh, Jesus.
Well, the harder part is that they're distributed everywhere. So you kill one database, but it's there's multiple sites around the globe that have the exact same information.
I really don't know how the hell you would stop it.
Yeah, well,
STDs. You have to bioengineer an STD and leak it into the Tinder ecosystem.
Literally,
that's not already happening.
Greg Egan wrote a whole short story about that.
Like, I mean, don't they have like like what is it? The fucking I remember reading about it. It's that the virus that lives in the throats of gay men, and when they give each other oral sex, it transmits. What is it called? It was like
it's just HPV-1, isn't it?
No.
It was like super herpes or something like that, but herpes is already pretty fucking bad.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name though.
It's more of a grinder disease rather than a Tinder disease, but
they have all kinds of weird stuff.
Tinder was built as a grinder based thing, you know.
I kind of figured
wasn't it first?
It was specifically sold as that at the beginning. I do remember that.
Was Tinder first or was Grinder? I feel like Tinder was first, and then Grinder followed.
No. Grinder was first.
Grinder was first. So it's like, this is like Tinder, but for straight people.
Yeah, that was literally the sales line for it.
Did you see the one that Fire Exit made, the scissor?
What?
He made like a meme app. It was called Scissor.
Wait, for like lesbians or something?
Yes. Did you not see that shit? Like, it was like a week ago, and he was like arguing with himself with his other account.
Oh, Neo Victorian wants to get in here.
Who wants to get in? Who's coming?
Are people actually listening to us?
I don't know. Let me check it on YouTube.
One second, I'll send him.
I shared it on my Twitter. I don't know how many that brings.
Helios is that night poster dude.
See who comes in.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, there's 19 watching. Damn, a bunch of fucking.
What the fuck?
Yeah, hey guys, I mean
that's better than Orc Brand.
Wait, what?
We still haven't solved the dream question.
What dream question? I think this was before I joined the stream.
We were trying to figure out why everyone was having these terrifying dreams.
I had a really weird dream last night.
Yeah, what was it?
Something about like people with removable faces. I can't really remember.
That sounds fucked up, man.
You have to think about dreams this way, like some of the people here know that I have like a lot of experience with aleatory and that kind of thing.
Real quick, Levi, before you get into it, what's your @ on Twitter? Because I don't know if I know who you are.
It's Hypernormie. I was just looking for yours, but I can't find it. But if you can find me,
@Helios in Hell.
Let me see if I can find it.
I change it all the time. I'm trying to avoid getting banned.
You were Helios 333 or something.
Yeah, that was a couple of days ago.
Now you're Helios in Hell?
Yeah, it'll change again. I just don't want to get banned.
I found you.
Cool. You said Hypernormie?
Yeah.
It's possible I follow you, but I don't know.
So, with dreams, one thing you'll notice about like intuitive dreams that have some sort of dreams that are dreams that are telling you something specific that are outside like the norm of what you have with normal dreams is usually they're really clear and lucid, and you remember them after the fact more so than you remember other dreams. And people who write down their dreams, they remember them more often anyways. But like I'm talking, you'll notice that there's a difference between those dreams and then like prophetic dreams.
I've had the dream, do the dream journal where I used to do it where I would like just record on my phone. When I woke up, I would just say what I remembered. But I don't remember those, but I do have dreams where I remember so clearly that I can't even forget if I wanted to.
Right. And like the first time I ever started having dreams like that was funny enough is I was like hard up on, I was sort of like hard up on cash. I was like in between jobs, and I was dating this girl, and like she hid a bunch of money everywhere, and I started having these dreams of like where all the money was. And it turned out that all my dreams, like where I was dreaming about where all this money was, it turned out as all my dreams were like right. Like the money was, all this hidden money was like right here. And the reason this was sort of fucked up is because this girl was sort of using me for money, but she was stashing all of this extra money.
She was Jewing you.
Yeah, she was stashing all this extra money everywhere. And so like I had all these dreams, and like it totally freaked her out because I was like, hey, like where'd all this money come from? And she's like, how did you know about that? And it's just funny because I saw it in dreams. And so like I know that sounds crazy, but like that was the first time I had an experience like that, and it sort of like expanded from there.
I have a similar experience, but it hasn't really happened at all recently. It was only like a childhood thing.
Okay, go on.
Oh, do you want me to? Okay, you want me to go on? Yeah. I'm sorry. So yeah, when I was a little kid, I had never flown on a plane until I was like, I guess 6 or 7. And I had a dream that I was on a plane, even though I'd never flown on one before, and that I was drinking orange juice, and I spilled it literally everywhere. And I was like, didn't even think anything of it, just spilling orange juice on a plane. But then a year or so later, I get on a plane for the first time, and halfway through the flight, the attendant like brings me some orange juice, and I remember having that feeling of like deja vu kind of tickling me. But then the dude behind me like kicks my seat, and the orange juice just goes fucking everywhere. And I was like, holy shit. It hasn't really ever happened quite like that again, but it's just some weird fucking thing.
I can't think of ever having that kind of experience, the deja vu thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I should probably pay closer attention, though.
It's just one of those things that sort of sticks with you, even though it seems really dumb. I'm like, why? Why that?
It's too on point.
Levi, did you have a theory about the group dream? Or were you just mentioning your...
He was just mentioning a personal anecdote about his...
Seems like he was in a waning gibbous phase. I don't know if that has any significance.
You mean like shared dreaming?
Well, the collective sort of energy which seems to be flowing.
Oh, so having similar dreams to other people inexplicably.
Why are we all having strange dreams at this exact week?
Because there's been a disturbance in the cosmic consciousness.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, no, I do think that anybody put that like what the hell is that project? Global Consciousness Project with like the random number.
The one that
generators?
MDE
Has
was
anybody
memeing
looked at
on.
that yet?
I don't think anyone's posted that yet.
Are you talking about the one where they were like that girl that was talking about like this is the first day you ever heard of this something? You know what I'm talking about? The one that Sam Hyde was making fun of. Is that what you're referring to?
I'm talking about like random number generators around the planet, and they're supposed
was it
to,
a Princeton engineering anomaly?
Yeah. They're supposed to measure per disturbances in like the global consciousness or whatever the hell.
How the fuck do you measure that?
By like watching the numbers.
It's like something that's in principle supposed to be random, and if it's not random, then clearly something has affected it.
I mean, I guess numbers are supposed to be random, but if I know anything from paying attention to numbers is that you should not pay attention to numbers because you'll go insane.
Well, I mean, if you think about the implications of this too much, I suppose that could be a natural eventuality.
I mean, my take on this is that this isn't like this isn't the peak yet. It's still building. I don't think we're gonna see like the real serious shit till summer, late summer, something like that. Yeah, this is like oh shit,
pre-pump.
Yeah, like that.
Are we seeing the blue light? Are we seeing the blue light yet, or is it too soon to say that?
What's the blue light?
The blue light before the atomic blast.
Oh. I don't know. Well, would it even be like an atomic blast?
I mean, I don't know.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, but like, I do have to wonder how serious it's gonna be. Like is like Sasquatch like gonna start like appearing in like the cities or some shit? Like,
let's hope so.
I don't know.
I just think that a lot more people are going to start seeing UFOs just randomly for no reason.
Sasquatch embody the revolt against the modern world.
Like Sasquatch, UFO, like all these like things are just gonna pop back into popular consciousness. But like, yeah.
There was a kind of stupid movie that sort of hit on some similar themes. I mean, I think it was. I'm trying to remember the name. It was like kind of the unofficial sequel to Donnie Darko.
Mm.
Oh, is that shit? What?
It had what's his face in it? The Rock.
Was the Rock in that one?
Yeah.
Was
it called Southland or something?
Yeah, Southland Tales. I think.
Yeah, there we go.
I haven't watched a movie with The Rock in it for a long time.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great movie, but what was going on, the theme of it was interesting, as things were just kind of like just getting progressively weirder. People were acting progressively weirder, and as the universe was kind of fraying apart.
Rex, that post you made earlier from that link from like, I don't know, it was like Las Vegas Now or something.
Oh yeah, that's just George Knapp.
But that was a really good post as far as like the UFO phenomena goes, and how the way that people
how it was talking about like manipulation and shit. Like it was sounding like something straight out of
it was way too like, it was weird because it was way too woke for what I would expect. Like it had this very Vallejo-esque like understanding.
Well, he's working for them, you know.
Oh really?
Oh fuck! He's the one. He's dicking around with like the samples and shit. Like
that was like a very like Vallejo-esque sort of like writing.
Dude, Bigelow brought Valet out to the ranch in like 1992 or something for some kind of, I don't know, ritual. Because you have to remember he's also a pretty hardcore occultist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like.
I mean, are we taking the aliens or demons
dude,
approach? Because that's what I think.
In the weirdest goddamn way, because in the New York Times story, that actually did come up, that there was opposition by Christians or whatever who thought it was demonic. But I don't know if you ever remember that Collins Elite stuff I shared a long time ago, but
to me it seems like the same the thread of that
shit ever come back again.
That American, like, you know, it goes from the satanic panic to being terrified that aliens are going to abduct you, and it's all along those same lines, that same mythology.
Yeah,
like, people are going to steal my children and go sacrifice them to Satan. Oh no, people are going to steal my children and probe them and take them up in an aircraft and take them to the stars and then replace them with some other child.
But it's
literal.
But then if you think about
changeling story.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. The changeling, you know, the children come back and they've been replaced by the elves by some other fucking creature that's not human.
Yeah.
That's a good theory.
Well, I have this theory that those aliens and like the little green men, that's the same things that people talk about when they say like the forest nymphs and shit.
In that it's always kind of been here, just in different.
But that's with different ways we refer to it.
Yeah,
that's like the Jacques Vallée thing, though. That's like totally in that vein.
There is a dude in Alberta, and he's like a forestry PhD or some shit, but. Anyway, he retired and now he runs this like elf research project. I'm not shitting you, and he's like traveling all over the fucking world. Like, he's like the fucking elf expert.
I mean, that ties into that whole Nordic alien shit too.
Well, the Nordic alien thing actually came out of like post-war like. Third Reich sympathizers and stuff.
That was like Himmler. Himmler was really
literally.
Like, I think they were talking about that before.
It literally comes out of Theosophy's Great White Brotherhood.
I thought like the proto-Nazis and stuff were theosophizing about that too.
Yeah.
Like the fucking what's her face, the Blavatsky or whatever. Wasn't she talking about some stuff that was similar in the Hyperboreans and all that?
I mean, it's just the people that escaped from Atlantis.
Blavatsky or whatever the hell her name was.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce that shit.
Back in like the 1800s, they were talking about similar things.
Wait, what's her name you said?
Blavatsky?
Isn't that lady that...
Madame Blavatsky?
That was in... Didn't she star in the? Oh no, she wasn't starring, but she was in Jodorowsky's Holy Mountain. I'm pretty sure. They had her.
She died like years way before that.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, like this was like turn of the 20th century.
Yeah, she's not a recent figure by any means.
Well, okay,
but she was influential.
Nazi sympathizers.
Well, yeah. So, like, Himmler and them, as far as, like, the, that's why they were going to, the Arctic and all of that shit.
Oh, God.
No, I'm not trying to get into that, but, that's why they were...
They were going there to find Agartha.
Yeah.
Who's Agartha?
Like,
who's Agartha?
Hitler wasn't so much into that stuff, but, like, there were other people in the Nazi party who were...
Right. So there was
like laugh at Himmler for this shit. Like they thought his like obsession with this stuff was nuts.
So wait, you seriously don't know what Agartha is?
It sounds familiar, but it's been a long time since I read about any of this stuff.
Oh, it's that hidden underground city thing. It's
the hollow
world. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The hidden city of the Orient, with like I don't know, caverns full of philosophers doing whatever the hell.
It's the space inside the Earth where the stars are projected out of.
Yeah, I remember illustrations of that.
That's the best explanation.
Yeah.
Has the viewer count dropped?
Let me check.
No, so it's like
16.
So they believe, well, well, some of them anyways, like Himmler thought they actually tried to research this, right? That we're also sort of in some sort of hollow planet type thing, and like what we see as the stars is actually.
Oh, you mean the world ice thing?
Right. So like so what we see as the stars are actually like little pinholes of like light seeping through
the dome
from like a crust that's outside.
Right, a crust that's floating on fluid that allows it to move in patterns and shit.
Yeah, it's like an ether. So like Himmler, they wanted to do experiments because they thought that they could like use like RF or something else to like they could bounce it off of there and then see like enemy units or whatever. Like they actually did experiments for that.
I recall that was.
Yeah, actually, no wonder they failed because they were wasting money on that shit.
I mean, they still invented like modern aerospace science, which is pretty interesting.
No, I mean Operation Paperclip. We know about it.
Well, it was actually a lot bigger than people assume. Like, it wasn't just the V2 guys. They brought over anybody who was vaguely of any kind of use. Like,
anybody the Soviet.
Most of aerospace medicine comes from the guys who worked in the camps.
Yeah, the guys that were putting like retards into like I'm being sort of like crude, but like they're putting retards into like compression chambers and like seeing what happened to them and whatever. And there was a guy who did this, and the Air Force actually named a library after him for a while until it was like discovered like who he was, and then they renamed the library after that. But like,
all the Unit 731 guys got brought over.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to mention. They were very interested in that data because it wasn't anything they could really get away with doing here.
Right.
So.
I'm pretty sure there's a national park named after the guy that invented the masturbation machine.
That's fitting.
Well, actually, they did invent the sex doll.
Yeah,
so fitting.
To fuck the Jews to death.
The Germans invented sex dolls as a thing.
Surely somebody thought about it.
They never reached mass production, but they were intended for like U-boat crews or some shit.
Holy shit!
Don't ask how this worked. Don't ask who the hell would have to clean the damn thing.
I feel like it would be cheaper to have some fucking German girl on each U-boat, but I guess.
Oh yeah.
The village wife there is again.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, the submarine bicycle.
I'm sure that would be much more trouble than just cleaning some doll.
So we can trace the origin of incels back to the Nazis as well. Damn.
Yes.
That's what we're saying. Yes.
That's why everyone's freaking out about it, because inside, they have this instinctive knowledge. They don't really know that, but they sense it.
Somehow this is related to the Nazis. I learned about this in Holocaust class.
Yes.
Well, that's the final solution to the incel question: masturbating machines.
I mean, I followed this one dude. He posted.
I don't think
this,
it counts as losing your virginity if it isn't sentient. Oh wait, then you could never lose your virginity unless you fucked a man.
He posted this fucking Japanese thing, and it went like nuclear. I remember, like, I think it got like hundreds of thousands of retweets and likes. And it was like that like the tits and fleshlight on the pneumatic pump or whatever, and like VR headset.
Yeah,
have you seen that?
Into it, and it would
work
you.
Yeah, basically fuck you to death if you let it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to work for the.
Well, I don't think it's gonna work just from a cost basis, because.
Well, no, it won't work from a psychological basis.
Incel's really gonna drop like okay on this shit? I don't.
I don't think that what incels are so upset about is really the fact that they're not having sex.
They want companionship.
It's human contact,
exactly,
and all that shit.
I mean, that's just one.
The people are reducing it to sex.
Because I mean, if you remember what Elliot Rodger was talking about in his videos, he was talking about how he really, really wanted a girlfriend. He didn't really so much talk about how he wanted to have sex. It was more like that he wanted a woman to love him.
Yeah.
And that was actually what's sad as fuck about it.
It's heartbreaking, for sure.
I know this is going to sound like, I don't know, but it's also a lack of like physical productivity. Like it's not, and I'm speaking sort of somewhat from personal experience, but like it's like people that aren't doing anything physical that's like producing something or like creating something. Yeah, well, yeah.
They're even people that have a job for a living. Like
right, but like a lot of them don't even have a job, or like they have a job where they're not creating or building anything, or like, so like here's an example I have that like might perturb some people just because like this is not the kind of thing that they want to do, but like the thing is you don't find a lot of construction workers that are like NEETs or incels, right? Like
well, I think that the big benefit of construction work is that usually it's outside and it's fairly manual, so you have a tan and you're probably going to be in decent shape. So,
well, beyond that, like you also see the product of your work.
Yeah, like, rather than working in a soulless fast food job that sucks the life straight through your eyes.
Right, and depending on what they're doing in the project, like some of them actually make really decent money.
Yeah,
so,
there is good money in construction.
Yeah, no, they make good money in this. Yeah.
And
what
so
I'm a JavaScript coder.
And then also
you want to see my website?
The other thing
check it out.
It's socializes you too. So you're not just like a weirdo adrift and being a loner.
Well, I think that there's also something that's probably fairly ingrained in the psyche when it comes to like building shelters, that it feels fulfilling. You know, you're building houses.
It fulfills an immediate survival need.
Yes. I mean, like, you know,
the phrasing you're probably looking for is that it keeps you grounded in tangible reality.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of these people that, you know, I mean, it's not just people that just sit on computers all day. It's like most people are living through their heads, or they're on their phone, even, you know, they're on their phones all day, that kind of thing. They're not.
Can't relate.
I was going to make a joke like that, but it was too painful.
It's like, your phone leaves your hand? What?
I can't remember the last time I didn't spend 95% of my waking hours on a screen.
I'm pretty sure that my phone's battery is drained to death by Twitter.
The thing that I do with that is I just disable all the notifications and everything. So like I have to like consciously go and click on it.
Well, don't you get bored? Like you're wandering around, or you're just like waiting in traffic? And
well, no, like so you know that I was homeless for a while, and so I didn't have any of that. But like, but the thing is like I have an addictive personality, so like I know how I am. So the thing is like, so I don't have Facebook or anything else, but I do have Twitter. But having Twitter, so like what I do with having a smartphone and everything else is I disable all the notifications and everything else. So like if I want to look at it, I have to go and look at it. And still, you still get the dopamine hits and everything from that. But it's not so much that it's like, oh, there's a notification here, like grabbing your attention right away.
Yeah. Dopamine hits rather than that.
Just the social media is supremely addictive like that.
Well, the thing is, like, right, I know, like, how I am.
Right.
So if I just left it there to behave like it normally does, like, in its native behavior, like on an Android device, like, I'd be fucked.
You're a craven creature of circumstance.
I'd be sucked into it all the time because I know I am.
I mean, you're telling me you have something better to do than scroll Twitter all day?
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
Well, you can learn to have better things. You can learn to have hobbies, I guess.
Well, yeah, like scrolling the stuff on my phone.
Yeah, my hobby is creating content for Twitter.
Or I can be like trying to sneak away while I'm at work so that I can post content on Twitter and stuff, like doing my job properly.
We can talk about how there's, it's just make a new hobby, but that's really easier said than done.
Yeah,
the way things are now. And I don't think it's just because the tools are there, but like there's really like a void of opportunities for that sort of thing.
Almost like it's intentional.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Only we knew why.
Really,
who would want to weaponize my habits?
Sure is a mystery. Who would think of such a thing?
Are you sure we should keep the stream available to the public, or should we just download the video file and disperse it as we see fit?
I think we could leave it up, but I mean, it's not my YouTube channel, so I don't really get to call that shot.
Oh, hey, there's people talking in the YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know how to see the chat.
Click the...
You have to go to the YouTube page itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll link you on the sidebar here.
Well, I mean, I have the... I have it pulled up in the app.
No, I think the chat might not be there automatically, but there's a button somewhere. You'll figure it out.
How nice of
is
YouTube to have three separate chat?
Say what?
I said, how nice of YouTube to have 3 separate chat feeds for one live stream call.
It's Google, man. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I guess they're too busy throwing women in engineering banquets.
Yep. All them diversity hires and whatever the fuck else they're hiring. Have you seen pictures of the workforce? It's weird.
I bumped myself.
Ah!
The more recent the pictures become, the more I'm convinced that they're actually speciating.
Yeah. It's not human. It's anthropomorphic, but it's not human.
Wait, what?
Guy is up.
Pictures of Google employees?
For entertainment.
Pictures of what?
Google employees.
Google employees.
Yeah, they look like furries and the weird fucking rainbow Keebler elf hair and all that stuff.
Dude, they have like furry internal employee. No, was it? Maybe it was Otherkin.
It was Otherkin.
Like if you just sort of imagine a conspiracy of bioluminism, it's right there. Right in your face.
Who else would we want handling all the information the world could possibly have to offer?
Well, at least, in those hands, nothing much is going to get done with it.
I guess, except take down MD's YouTube channel, which I'm still salty as fuck about.
True, yeah.
I was like,
you guys gotta use the YouTube downloader, man.
Press F.
Everybody has to get in the habit of that.
I can't do that on mobile. I don't think.
Yeah,
unless I have YouTube Red.
No, there's a command line utility that you can use.
I mean, I do think that there's probably a good portion of those videos that were archived by other people in anticipation of something like this. If you aren't subscribed to Alien Mode and like VMU Dream, they have like a bunch of their content that they have been re-uploading, like all those Williamsburg fashion interviews, which are the shit. I
wouldn't be surprised if there was a.
Well, they're currently like re-uploading them right now. I was seeing them in my sub feed
to do that. So, or if Sam Hyde himself, I mean, he's savvy enough. I'm sure he archive them as well.
I mean, I know there's also MDE too, but like the second channel
probably go down any day.
Yeah.
They took down school shooters as well.
Yeah, wiped him out. All of it. Every Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, Sam Hyde's Instagram went down on that same day too, which I was trying to I was looking for the Instagram and then I was looking for the YouTube channel and I was like, oh fuck.
Almost as if they're trying to deprive and demoralize us.
I mean, they canceled World Peace Season 2. There's not much else that they can do besides this.
They can do it. They'll do it. They're relentless.
But you realize, like, it's because we play their game, right? Like, if you go out, at least where I live, and maybe it's different in like a place like California or something, but you go where I live and like you spend time with normies, like they don't know anything about this shit. Like they know stuff about like regular.
No, if you tried to explain it to them, they would be so confused. They would have no idea what you were talking
about. They have no reference for it at all, so it just comes off like gibberish.
Right, they have like an idea of like sort of pedestrian politics that they get from the news, but like,
and they'll have some vague.
Let me tell you what they have is you're like, oh yeah. Politics, they're like, oh yeah, Donald Trump wants to build a wall, and I don't like that. That's about it.
Build a wall, deport them all.
Or that. It's either that or that, yeah.
Right.
Right, or they just have like some...
Hey, do you guys remember when Trump got elected and they put Waleed in a FEMA camp, and now they force him to tweet?
Who was it that killed Waleed? Oh,
the late Empire.
Late Empire. Yeah,
late Empire.
He completely lost his shit. That was fucking hilarious.
Somebody bully-sided him hardcore.
He just hardcore lost his shit, and he ended up like with the Chapo people or some shit.
Didn't he come back? Like, is that app in use again? I'm not sure.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember.
He's back, and he's
completely insane.
Well,
total shit.
No, it was pretty hilarious. I don't know, because I direct messaged him and I was like, dude, are you serious? Do you really think they're gonna put you in a camp? And he like fucking like unfollowed me or some shit.
Yeah.
No, he was always...
That was fucking crazy.
Is this the time or place to discuss the descent of Paul Town?
Yes.
Wait. Do we have user comments or some shit?
With what?
My understanding is what happened to Paul Town. He got heavy into like research chemical methamphetamine analogs. I really don't like.
He completely lost his mind.
Yeah, like my understanding is he started talking about like messages from God or something. And the last thing I saw of him is that like he's a tranny or something.
Wait, what?
Yeah, well, seriously. Have you seen the
picture? I didn't see that one.
I hadn't. I
took the pink pill.
He went pink pill fully.
Yes,
I knew that he had like pigtails,
dude.
But I didn't know that he was actually trans. Like, the weird thing is that like Hubris and Beardson don't even talk about him anymore.
What?
He's dead to them.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Dude. Well, honestly, I've got to be really straight with you guys. I don't think anybody really deserves what happened to him.
And definitely not.
No, fuck no. Like, but like, what can you do? Like.
He's literally gone. Like I tried, like I remember like the last conversation I had with him, I was like trying to reason with him and I was like, please explain to me how exactly you came to this fucking conclusion that you're getting messages from God through Twitter URLs. Like how? And he was just like, well, if you can't see it, then you haven't been given the faith to see it. I'm like, dude, that doesn't make any sense.
God told him to imbibe the pink pill, I guess.
No, I think that was the methamphetamine.
I don't know. Jesus Christ, people, stay off the meth.
He literally told me that he was like, what's your drug cocktail of choice? And I was like, eh. And he was like, well, I like to ride the line, stay in control. Apparently he wasn't staying in control.
Also,
fuck no. Fuck no. Like,
well, somebody said that he'd always been schizophrenic or something.
I think that he was a little bit, like, just
and that
tended
must have
towards
distanced
that.
him over the edge.
I could understand, like, maybe he had the genes for it. I thought he was more talking about how he was a social.
Well, how old is he? Because usually it comes like in their person's early mid-20s.
Yeah, he couldn't have been like older than 22.
It'll blow out a latency period, and then you're like suddenly, oh my god, what's happened to this person? We didn't see this coming.
mean, like he went so quick too. It was so fast.
Yeah,
it was like a month.
It often is.
And he was telling me, "I'm so at peace."
It freaked me out. Like I was like holy shit. That like
especially if it's drug induced, it'll just come on just like that.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, I'm so at peace, and if you don't understand, then like don't hate." And I kind of stopped paying attention after a little while.
Right.
It was just kind of weird. I was wondering if he would stop, and he would just like I thought he was trolling so hard, like because you know how he is. I thought he had like reached like next level, but I was like, okay, actually no, you're crazy. You're actually crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
I still have his YouTube. I'm still subbed to him on YouTube. I think he uploaded a video like the other day, but I guess I didn't watch it.
Why'd you gotta say that? Because now I gotta go look it up.
Yeah, it's Paul Town on YouTube. Paul Town.
All right.
It's just like I can't stay away.
It might even be like the old like Honeypot Studios account, but I'm not sure because they all used to share that.
I think I found it. Ooh.
But like, I mean, that wasn't the first case I'd seen. There was, I forget his name now, but he was that Sikh dude in Silicon Valley, and he was always talking to like Talib. You know who I'm talking about?
And
he liked doing coke. He really liked doing coke.
Carson, Carsony, ex-Carsony.
Feel however you fucking say that Latin phrase.
No, not Jackal. No.
Okay.
You guys are talking about Jackal.
He's not Sikh. Or is that he in the comments? Please tell me he is not watching this.
I hope he is. That would be too ironic.
Wait, okay, I still don't know how to see the chat. When I tried to look at the chat, I got kicked from the call.
I'm going to look at
on the YouTube page?
Yeah, when I opened up the YouTube video.
Or the Hangouts page.
I'm on the Hangouts page. How do is it on there? I don't know.
Yeah, well, there is a chat, but it's a different chat. It's
Sinister Forces 17 watching. What the fuck?
There was 22 like 30 minutes ago.
That's your Tiger Rex. Get the message out.
Oh,
it's
holy
pretty
shit.
decent.
There is a chat.
How do you see it? Tell me. I don't know.
On the YouTube page?
I went to my machine and I just looked, but
oh right,
we got explain who is who in this hangout. I've had a lot of eerie and oddly sexual dreams. What the fuck are you talking about?
I think it's better if we don't explain anything.
No. Let's just not explain anything.
I'm going to introduce, but don't explain.
Don't look behind your
We're
back.
not going to explain your sexual dreams.
Yeah, don't tell us about them, please.
You can DM me about them if you want.
Please.
DM me.
Yeah, DM us. If you have our hats, you can DM us about yourself.
Kirk Polak, backpack ties to get electronic stud finders. That was the only thing. Better than Periscope. What? Google reading my thoughts.
They're probably talking about the Periscope stream that I did the other day. Yeah, it's better than Periscope because I'm not by myself.
Yeah, so you don't have to carry it on your own.
Yeah, that's the most difficult thing about that shit. All right, I'm checking the chat now. Jesus Christ.
I have no idea who these people are. I recognize one or two, but like...
I don't know who they are.
19 watching now. Jesus.
I'm gonna see. I mean,
as a hard and fast rule, 1 out of every 12 people online is a Fed. So
hey, how you doing?
Safely say we've been noticed by a guy in a suit by now.
Oh yeah, almost certainly. Does this mean we get like Fed girlfriends now?
Thanks a lot, Campbot.
Yeah.
If any of you,
Fed girlfriend male.
If any of you get DM'd by an e-girl within the next month and a half, you'll know who sent them.
What if she's really hot? Like,
acquire video evidence if you can, and we'll send it to the lab for further analysis.
sweet.
All right. Let's see.
20 now. Fuck.
Well, I just signed on my machine,
Sure.
so that's me.
Oh yeah.
So Rex, I ended up downloading the PDF for Sinister Forces, but I haven't read it yet, unfortunately.
Why does that sound familiar?
Oh, yeah. It's actually. I think it's a fun read, to be honest.
It's a good trilogy. I mean, Peter Levinda is kind of like a 1960s tier communist of sorts, and he worked for some CIA
He was
cutout corporation.
I actually have his copy. I actually have his version of the Necronomicon.
Yeah. He was Simon.
It was a real bitch to track down.
But
he wrote a version of the Necronomicon?
Dude, he wrote the first one.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
He did, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, wait. It's the Avon edition. I had a bitch of a time finding it. It's around here somewhere.
What the fuck?
But he also
wrote it in
worked.
university, but he basically cribbed a lot of it from like Chaldean fire magic.
Yeah, he did. But he also worked. He also worked for like a CIA cutout. Like a corporation,
Malaysia or some shit.
Yeah, well, he admitted it later on in his book about Nazis and Islamic extremism. Like, he's sort of paranoid about that shit, but he actually admitted he did work for like a cutout company for a while, which doesn't surprise me.
I wouldn't blame him for being paranoid, considering he was like dumb enough to walk into that cult compound.
Oh yeah. In South America.
Yeah,
and then he got fucking captured.
Yeah. Here it is, Necronomicon.
So he did the one that you can get at like your local bookstore version.
No. That one's that's the Tyson version, and that I have no idea how well that.
I never bothered to read the Necronomicon. It's a little edgy for me.
Yeah, it's out there. One of several, I guess. But like, yeah, he wasn't just that. He was also a pretty serious, like, ceremonial magician. Supposedly, he was able to like invoke demons and shit to like visible form for people. Because like he was doing classes in like the what the hell was that occult bookstore in New York? That article, the Warlock Child, with something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Oh,
so the same guy who cribs a bunch of Chaldean fire magic to write an edition of the Necronomicon writes a special edition book.
This.
Dead names.
Holy fuck.
What?
I had no idea he did that.
Intriguing.
Fascinating.
Man, I just heard myself yell over the computer across the room. That was fucking nuts.
So that same guy goes and writes an expose on occult activities inside the U.S. government, publishes it.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, that's not exactly hard to find. Like, these guys don't really hide, per se. They... Like, if you know what to look for, they stand out at a distance.
What do you look for?
You're really going to make him verbalize that?
Yeah, it's hard to put into words, but you see certain like interests, like if you pay attention to the sort of things they spend their time dicking around with, like John Alexander, for example, he was a big non-lethal weapon guy for the DIA, I think. But he was also into things. He was the dolphin telepathy guy I was talking about on Twitter.
Dolphin telepathy?
Yeah, seriously. Like he's
Is that where they gave the dolphin LSD?
That killed the dolphin. I honestly don't know, but I think he knew John Lilly. And like I said, I don't know how.
Oh, John Lilly. Holy shit. I know John.
Oh, I know all about him. The metaprogramming.
I have the Simulations of God on my bookshelf right now.
I guess look for openness to new ideas and stuff like that. And you will find these people.
But yeah, but it wasn't just dolphin telepathy. Like he's also a legitimate believer in, Count Dante's dim Mac death touch thing from the 70s.
I can't say I've heard of that.
Hey Rex, when I was a teenager, I went to a Wallam Kung Fu temple in Orlando, and they talked about something called Bak Ma, which translated to death touch. So it was a similar thing. So it's kind of like a
It's the dark hand in Dark Souls 3.
No, it's kind of like you touch a person in a certain way, like the weather.
Point exploding heart technique thing. Like
right, it's like you touch a person in a certain way, the weather is a certain way, the environment is a certain way, a certain time of day. It's peculiar.
I was making a joke, I'm sorry.
And all these complex configurations instantly kill the person that you touch somehow?
Yeah, that's the idea.
If the stars are correctly aligned.
When I was in karate, they used to pass rumors about that too.
Yeah, but that seems kind of like the
like that there was these secret pressure points that if you knew them, if you touched the person the right way, you could fatally.
This fucking insane meth head that I used to work with would tell me stories about how he was taught the art of Black and White Lotus.
Black and White Lotus.
Well, Black Lotus and White Lotus. They're two separate things. And they had all kinds of killers.
Two seemingly incompatible forms united in a forbidden art.
Exactly.
And meth. It's a hell of a drug.
Meth, man. Gotta love it.
In that context, it can happen.
Yeah, but fucking secret pressure points. I mean, I think that you can definitely shut somebody down pretty well if you hit the right ones, but I don't know if you can actually kill them.
I don't think you can.
I think it's less of a punch to the fucking solar plexus.
When this guy isn't
if I kick you in the neck hard enough, you might die. Okay.
He's married to like a spirit medium and shit, and like. The thing now is chasing after UFO experiencers so that like he can get exposed and like gain their powers or something.
Oh, so he's one of those dudes.
Like this is completely fucking whack, but
he's just one of those thrill
he's
chasers.
a UFO chaser.
Yeah,
he chases UFO chasers.
Yes, like it's really quite insane.
Do any of you know about like the daughter of Anton LaVey?
Xena
What about her?
Mm-hmm.
What about her?
And how she like basically went like full hippie.
Oh yeah, well, that would be pretty typical, to be honest.
Yeah. And now she's like a medium of some sort.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think they're pretty interchangeable.
Hippies and mediums?
And Satanists.
They're just kind of like LARPers, or at least the LaVey thing. Like, that's pretty much a LARP.
Well, LaVeyan Satanism is really just rehashed libertarianism.
For real though,
edgy
it's
libertarianism.
Edgy as fuck.
Not nearly.
But then they're also like, oh, let's follow the laws too. But we don't endorse this.
You know, the Church of Satan has endorsed this music label.
I remember that, actually. Why did they do that exactly?
It came out of nowhere. Your guess is as good as mine.
I remember they would just like retweet it. I mean, the Church of Satan is a pretty dead meme, so I guess they'll draw up support wherever they can get it.
Well, literally like 99% of the magical groups are dead or have turned into like bizarre yuppie shit. Like all the old chaos magic guys, Church of the Subgenius, they're all fucking yuppies. They all go to Burning Man. You ever see Vinay Gupta? Fucking Christ. Like, Jesus.
I swear to God. Akira, you don't turn your mic on unless it's to demonically laugh.
And Vinay Gupta is like instant laugh. So I guess like you say.
I actually stole
and hilarity ensues.
I mean,
I won this laugh at a duel
is that you have to challenge him in the, you know what? Nude oil wrestling, nude submission oil wrestling, winner take all in the hex. Enter the fucking hex.
That is not fair. That is not a fair competition.
Well, never enter a competition you can't win. Is what I always say.
Enter the hexayurt, guys. Jesus.
Enter the hexayurt.
Enter the octagon. It's a heck. You get it. Like, yeah.
Go to Burning Man. Set up a yurt specifically to challenge Vinay Gupta in it. Just set up big signs. Gupta, I want you in this yurt. Gupta, wrestle me to the submission.
Has anyone ever gotten to meet something like brown magic before?
What?
Doesn't he just tweet that shit regularly?
He's a pretty heavy occultist. He's into like
Yeah, I know. That's why I was asking because I know he's like
really?
brown tech and stuff like that.
And nobody gives us a second glance. Like I don't know.
He's a brown magician? Well, he's a brown magician?
Well, he's a literally brown magician.
Yeah, I mean, he literally
He's a shit-skinned magician.
He's a toilet
shit-skinned sorcerer.
Poo magic.
I don't know why you would ever willingly learn something called brown magic. It's like
I would not.
I would sooner just say, okay, I choose to live in a world where magic is real, but do not practice it, rather than learn to practice it just because it's called brown magic.
I mean, if you remember The Hobbit, I don't even remember if fucking Radagast the Brown was in The Hobbit originally, but
Third world coming for those astral planes.
Yep.
Brown magic is just sewage system of the astral plane.
Yeah.
No, brown magic is you can just make anybody you want just shit their pants whenever you please.
Oh, you just carry around a radio and a couple of subwoofers, and you got a brown note.
That's a brown magician right there.
Never heard of a brown note, dude?
I know exactly what a brown note is.
Yeah. That's all you need. Apparently you can set up these frequencies that are low enough that the human ear cannot detect them consciously, but subconsciously, if you hit the right,
make you shit your pants.
No. This is a different.
Is this the Cuban thing?
You can make them feel terrified and uneasy.
Oh, infrasound. You're talking about infrasound.
Yes, I'm talking about infrasound. And all you need is a speaker about the size of a van that you could potentially drive into a public space, and immediately everyone thinks they've been visited by an astral being that they can neither see nor detect, but that they know is there.
If you have a wireless speaker, you can just experiment on your neighbors.
Yeah, but you need a speaker large enough to produce the sound waves in
which is harder.
Exacting demand. They need to be very large, and they're quite expensive to get.
It's that fucking Mad Max level of speakers system.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
infrasound is what that is.
Yeah. I mean, you can also do things with like, I have a whole book on my shelf about this shit. Like ionizing air that supposedly makes people more agreeable or some shit. I don't know.
Rex, do you still read like 3 books a week?
Not for a couple months now.
Oh, damn, what happened?
No, I just dropped off, man. Like, part of the easier part was having access to a university library and shit. But the one here doesn't really have a lot of what I'm interested in, fortunately.
Yeah, any book that I'm interested in, I had to get on interlibrary loan.
Yeah,
every single one.
Do you recommend that copy?
I'm often having to either go with Kindle or just get it over PDF or something.
I've actually had the library that is next to me buy. They ended up buying several copies. Like I said, oh, here's a book that I'd like to get on interlibrary loan. And they just bought it for me. They were like, it's easier if we just buy it for you. I was like, okay.
Do you recommend that copy of the Necronomicon by Simon Levinsky?
No, just Simon. That was just
Simon.
God damn it! Don't eat the fucking chocolate.
That book that I was displaying is not actually Necronomicon. It's a history of how the Necronomicon came to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets into wandering bishops and all that sort of thing, if you're interested in that kind of topic.
You know he was one of them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, the question is, of course, why? And then, of course, yeah.
Guys, I'm just writing about why I was part of this group But, you know, don't suspect me of being weird or having anything to do with it.
Oh, yeah. I'm totally normal.
Yeah, we're on a live stream at almost 3 o'clock at night. We're regular dudes.
Yeah, I think 3:33 is a good time to end this live stream.
Actually. I agree, but that's like almost an hour from now, my time.
Oh, for me, it's in 3 minutes.
It's in 3 minutes, yeah.
So I guess we have 3 minutes to talk about the 3:33 question. Akira.
You mean Peter Thiel? How his full name?
Oh, God.
Wait, what?
Or how I inexplicably see it fucking everywhere.
Yeah, I cursed Helios with awareness of the number, and now it's all over his life.
Yeah, and it will not leave because I see it all the time.
You and me both, man. Welcome to the club.
I'd like to leave.
It's a one-way street, buddy.
You can enter.
Look at it this way. We've literally had like at least 15 people watching this for like 3 hours.
What are you guys doing? You just sit here and you like.
I think that we're pretty entertaining, to be honest.
I don't understand. Or did you guys just like log on here and then forget that you were here?
I just think that the federal agents are bored and we're the most interesting thing going on in their life.
Retracting these messages in the chat is what I want to know. I see a bunch of message retracted.
Message retracted.
Message redacted.
I need to be watching the chat in live time in order to catch the retracted messages.
Oh, I didn't want to say that.
Say what?
Whatever it is they said and redacted.
Sorry.
Oh. Somebody has something to hide.
Yeah. Well, if you have nothing to fear, you have nothing to hide, right?
Yeah.
I see. So you can just delete your own messages like that, and it shows.
But you don't know. But you don't know if you have anything to hide, even if you
don't know.
Well, that's why I'm naked.
Like,
hey, I'm naked too.
Retroactive.
Wow.
I'd like to take this moment to say that I'm wearing clothes.
You're a cloth mo then. Don't be a cloth mo. I just want to take this time to say you gotta grow it big, know it's or no. What the hell is this?
Grow it big, know it's big, show it's big.
Damn right.
That's right.
We all get naked before we show up here. That's
why all of our cameras are off.
Next live stream, I expect everyone here to be naked and oiled.
Oiled in the yurt.
I will literally do this.
Could you imagine how awful it would be if somebody like merged BAP with Vinay Gupta?
I just keep seeing his face.
Rex, Eric kept posting pictures earlier of like he was referencing Kundalini, but he was posting pictures of like
of Indians,
of Indians, like naked Indians, and I was like, please stop.
Trying to make a point that mostly these look like people that would be like hobos or thrown into mental hospitals here.
Oh, but they're enlightened.
Yeah, I'm sure. It must be a hell of a thing, just like be a total fucking street varmint and some Westerner shows up and thinks that you're Kundalini enlightened.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to say what I want to say, but it's about suicidal tendencies and pathology.
Sounds heavy.
Spit it
on
out.
A civilizational scale, I think yes. It's incredibly heavy.
Well, just say it.
I don't know exactly what to say exactly, but it's personified by the thing that you've just mentioned, which is going into a foreign country and finding a homeless person and lavishing them with praise for being enlightened.
Oh.
Maybe it has something to do with xenophilia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. It's kind of like it's really self-abnegating.
Something like that, yeah. Something like chasing novelty. China doesn't do it. China is they have a different kind of perspective on the foreign, and that's of immense envy, but it's not spoken. It's almost spiteful envy.
Right.
And you can tell it's spiteful because of its tendency to show up in what's the word for a copy of a thing? Blacklisted, blackmail, bootleg. Facsimile, yeah, facsimiles and bootlegs and such. These don't really show up unless you can't have the real thing, or you don't want.
Well, they do show up in China. I mean,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Is the reason that they show up is because of this kind of grudging sort of envy, which is like, it's admiration, but it's bitter. It's not a glowing admiration. It's a cold admiration. Like, well, yes, this is.
Well, it's also kind of just materialistic. Like they're.
If you're buying actual Yeezys and not bootleg Yeezys, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell is a Yeezy?
It's a Kanye West shoe. They look fucking dumb anyway. I can't imagine anybody paying the ridiculous amount of money he wants for them. You don't know what Yeezys are, Rex? You're fine. Don't worry about
it. No, I live in fucking Saskatchewan.
Okay.
Because I want to say the difference between projection and emulation.
Does Kanye wear his own shoes?
I think so.
What does this code mean?
What code?
SPLY 350.
What?
It's on all the Yeezy shoes.
Oh, it has something to do with like the year they were released.
SPLY 350.
The 350 I think is specifically the brand. Or like the line. I don't fucking know. It's on the box. 350 Yeezys.
Right.
But there's different seasons of Yeezys. So if you're looking at the ones you've got, like they just look fucking stupid. They just look dumb.
Yeah, they look kind of lumpy.
They look like they'd be like.
Hey! But Yeezy's our guy now. So we all have to get Yeezys.
Yeah, we all have to buy. You actually have to go out there and buy like legitimate, authenticated Yeezys.
The ethno state will require Yeezy footwear instead of gladiator.
Okay, but you know that
right-wing
dude,
activism,
like the knowledge dude, the one that was like here in my garage. What the fuck is his name?
You'll have to be more specific.
Okay, the guy that was doing all those the ads that were sponsored on YouTube, where he was like, here in my garage with my Lamborghini, but you know what I love more than money? Knowledge. That fucking dude. What's his fucking name? Do you not know who I'm talking about?
No
For
idea.
real?
I have not seen an ad on YouTube this year.
This has been years ago. It was like fuck.
Ow. You'll have to find me a video.
I will find
and you'll have to send it to me next time because it is time to close the chat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, we gotta get Crypt in this thing.
Yeah, I doubt he'll show up because he hates to reveal himself. Oh, I should have posted it in the Discord. What am I thinking?
I mean, he'll show up, but he won't say anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's because he's in a safe.
Just in a little ball, just curled up. He has a feeding tube.
Is it like a gun safe, or is it like a larger?
No, he's like a human black box.
Didn't this man-sized safe made in like 1900 that they hauled out to the rural municipality office on sledges drawn by horses? So now I have these giant man-sized safes, and I don't know what the fuck to do with them.
How did you come into possession?
Ty Lopez is the man who's
here.
Yeah,
Ty Lopez. Ty Lopez. That's his name.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and so basically he was talking about all this knowledge, and then he comes out now. He's all wearing Yeezys, and he's got like a anti-tank cannon and shit.
There you go.
So I guess he found some sort of knowledge.
Should get Insurrealist on here, TBH.
We could get him. I don't know if he would talk, but
we'll get the whole
he'd be good to have.
Wait, is there a DM group I'm not in?
No, there's definitely not.
Insurrealist somehow manages to be less autistic than Crypt, so there is that.
Over text,
are you saying that's a good
voice?
Thing?
Over text, I've never heard either of them over voice. I've seen Crypt in lectures before, but he never talks.
What the fuck kind of lectures are y'all going to?
I don't know if we can say that.
Okay.
But it wasn't an in-person thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't something that two people concurrently went to, I think.
Is this it's like this Nick Land thing that y'all were talking about earlier, isn't it?
Man, I'm never invited to the cool stuff. But oh wait, I told you guys the Elliot bot story, right?
Yes, that is my favorite new headcanon.
No, I shit you not. I was just looking one night, and next thing I know, there's the Elliot bot account, and it starts tweeting like a normal person. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna change this account. It was some random dude who just walked in and pretended to be Elliot Rodger. Like, what
was it at all? What is it at all automated, or was it 100%? He just fucking typed it all out.
No, I think he was cut and pasting.
Okay.
Because there were certain tells that I think a bunch of us picked up on that it wasn't a machine doing it. Like it just seemed too.
Wait, what's his at?
I don't remember.
It's been deleted for a while. It was Elliot _ ebooks.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Gone.
Wasn't there some lady that was like commenting on it about how beautiful Elliot Rodger was a bunch, and then people were like giving her fire for it, and she was like, "I don't care."
I could see that happening.
Yeah,
that happens all the time. It's like with people like that.
But yeah, we need to drag Crypt on here.
So for next time, we'll get Crypt and Surrealist. Nick is probably still a hard no.
We'll keep pressuring him. You know what?
We keep annoying him.
You know what, Akira? We need to give him a hard time because he went and talked to that weird white nationalist couple. He went and did a podcast with it. What is their podcast called? Yeah.
Like red.
Yeah.
Ice. He went on Red Ice Radio.
Went on Red Ice.
Are you shitting?
Yeah.
Red Ice TV.
There is. I fucking promise you, he went on Red Ice TV.
Is it their YouTube,
I didn't believe
You better send me the link to that.
Is it on their YouTube channel?
You swarthy son
Hey,
of a
I'm
bitch.
not swarthy. You've seen that I have I'm very freckly, actually.
Wow.
You damn
Guys,
bog.
just so you
digger.
know, I have everybody in this group is going to be vetted by Greg Johnson, who's going to check personally if you're circumcised.
Oh no, no thanks.
Oh god, I didn't know phenotype inspection day was this soon.
Hold on.
I'm not ready for phenotype inspection day.
He was on Red Ice.
God, this better not be fucking Red Ice. Fucking
Red Ice is so boring.
Oh,
I hate that YouTube channel.
God, it's right here.
What? You found it?
Yeah.
Hey, what about
is it on their YouTube?
People like there was Shunform
on
or whatever
YouTube,
the hell his name is.
Schwandenform.
Yeah, we could just like invite a bunch of those guys and like.
I'm curious what Shroot sounds like.
I would rather cut off my own penis.
I don't want to keep them.
That's fairly accelerationist of you.
It's like being behind a bad driver, and sometimes you just want to know what they look like.
The only reason I would want to know what a bad driver looked like is
it could be worse. I could have said Calla.
Somebody's cat meowed.
Yeah, I would like to talk about the cat.
Talk about the cat.
Yeah,
actually,
I keep hearing cat noises.
Yeah, who's cat?
Yeah, I'm sorry. He's very insistent.
I knew it was Rex.
Rex, you have a
His name is Garfield.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
is he buff? Is he buff?
Is he a buff cat?
Yes.
That's a very serendipitous occurrence.
I know.
He orange?
He's very
cat.
Yes, he's a fucking tabby. He's a big fat tabby.
Extremely powerful content.
Yeah, nowhere else can you get meows from actual buff cats named Garfield at the height of that meme's popularity.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's end on a high note, fellas.
All right, yeah. Next time we should just have like an open, free for all, everybody get in here thing.
Maybe not.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's only so many people that will join. Like a lot of people just don't do this kind of thing. So
yeah,
free for all wouldn't hurt. Probably.
Just nag Nick and ask him why he was willing to talk to those weird like sex party white nationalists, but he won't talk to us.
God. You know, I like to not hold things against people. So maybe you know, I think we should work on having something worth visiting before we try to.
True.
Yeah, we should probably do something more structured rather than.
We should get Childermass in here.
Childermass would be amazing to have in here.
Let me think.
All right, let's get Childermass into your listing crypts for next time. Deal?
Deal.
Maybe not do it at midnight, or is that a requirement?
Midnight/3 a.m. EST.
We should probably figure out an earlier time since a lot of people are also asleep.
Yeah.
For weirdos like us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, who else do we have here? BT Carlo, maybe?
It would be cool if we could get
annoying.
Owen Cyclops, but I don't know if y'all like him or not.
Niche, obviously.
I don't
know. Niche seems like he might be busy with stuff usually. Like I can.
He's up late though.
Like I don't know if he is. I don't know if he's like. Yeah, he's probably a maybe.
Worst poster might come. Who else? We could annoy Tradical maybe.
Let's start with who we know in the small.
What about Cantbot?
Cantbot won't.
He would love it.
He was literally just on the Sweat earlier today.
Yeah,
that's kind of what sparked this whole thing.
He's like, he never gets out of character though.
So
could it become annoying? I don't know.
I don't know. Do you guys think he was bullshitting about the FBI thing?
I think he was legit, but that's just me.
Yeah, he probably was being serious.
Deal.
Like he's like I gotta be honest with you guys. He's not the only person the feds have talked to. Like there have been others.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the Cody Wilson gravity zone, you're probably gonna get some scrutiny.
Yep. Anyway, until next time.
Yep.
Remember, guys, lift nude. Don't be a clothmo.
Lift nude, don't be a clothmo, and always have your oil on you.
Write down any strange dreams.
Absolutely. Keep a dream journal.
And DM them to me.
To God,
DM me the sexual dreams.
Fucking talk to me, for God's sakes. Like
obligatory dream journals.
Did you make anything of the cultist dream, Rex? Did you see that post?
What?
I'll ask you over DM. I want to go to bed.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night.